Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Roster Talk. Today, I'm joined by Denny, the main AWP of Skade. And to start it off, Denny, I think it's got to be feeling pretty good of the success that the team has found over the last couple of years in comparison to when you first joined, because you've been a part of this team for quite a while.
Yeah, it's been more than 2 years, like 2.5 years maybe. We've had quite a success with winning this last tournament, which was the biggest tournament the skate organization won probably. So basically, we're happy that the changes kind of worked.
Okay. Well, then maybe let's get into the changes, right? And sort of educate some of the viewers from home. Because when I look back at last year, the first move that got made by Skade was parting ways with Spellin. Now, tell me about this period, because you played with Spellin for just over a year. He was obviously the in-game leader of the team. So what was that portion of time like when he parted ways at the beginning of last year?
It was kind of hard. I mean, after every change, it's something new. Everyone is not used to it. But we needed that change, and after we made it, of course, SHiPZ went in, and that was the point where we felt we could do a bit more than just winning like a tournament or two, like small tournaments, maybe something bigger than that.
Hmm.
He just gave us a lot of confidence.
Obviously, we know that SHiPZ has had quite a history, I guess you could say, with the experience that he's gained in the Bulgarian scene. Coming into this team, I remember there was a portion of time that he was obviously in-game leading. So what was that sort of like? Because I don't think he'd been too much of an in-game leader before joining Skade, right?
No, he's always been like the second caller, like the shot caller, like helping the IGL. For example, in Windigo with Bubble again. He has that in his playstyle where he just feels something, hears probably the rotation or something, and just goes mid round, you know.
Hmm. Okay.
So
Well,
basically,
yeah.
it was not that hard for him to just join the IGL role. Of course, it was hard because he needs to think of a lot of things. It's not like second calling. It's
Hmm.
just IGLing and being a leader, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why it was not easy for him.
At least feels like he had a way in, right? Knowing that he's done at least some second calling before, it might not be the easiest of role adjustment, but we also saw at this sort of time period, there wasn't a lot of changes for about 6 months or so. We came to September, and this is when Oxygen got benched. And, I mean, you'd probably played with Oxygen the same amount of time that you played with Spellin, so why did the change of benching Oxygen and signing Kaluba came through?
I mean, I just don't want to talk that much about that.
Okay.
Just some things changed then. It was not the same as at the beginning. That's why we needed to make that change. So basically, that's all I'm gonna say.
Hmm. Okay. Well, we also saw that this was, I think, just around the time that you went to the RMR, right? You went to IEM Full, you went to the LAN. And then we found after that, and probably towards the latter part of the year, Kaluba got released, and so did Duplicate. Now, you and Duplicate, out of all the guys that we've spoken about so far that have sort of parted ways with the team, you've played with him the longest. So was that hard to let Duplicate go?
I mean, it's always hard, like parting ways with teammates. We've always had like friendly relationships, even after like parting ways. So it's hard, of course, but we have that relationship with everybody right now that we're just friends.
Hmm.
That's nothing harsh between us.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe this is a good segue to get into the recent roster changes, which is, of course, Bubble and Dreamer coming over. Now, for a lot of people, will remember there was Skade and there was Fiend, and both of you guys were towards the higher end, getting in towards top 30. What happened here? Because it felt as if, okay, Skade's going to do their own thing, Fiend's going to do their own thing as well, and then all of a sudden, Bubble and Dreamer go and join you guys.
Yeah, it was kind of unexpected for everybody. I mean, not something unusual. but I mean, we had our problems, they had their problems, and we just made that decision, I think.
Hmm.
That's all I can say for now.
Okay. Well, talk to me about Bubble then. If we get a little bit deeper about what he's like as a teammate, we obviously know this guy is very proficient on LAN, very good online. He's been in and around the Bulgarian scene for probably the longest out of anyone on your team. So, in-game leader, captain of the lineup, it's got to be having a good relationship of in-game leader and AWPer, right?
He's been opening before, I think, yeah.
He did a
In the
little bit of
beginning.
AWPing, but I'm talking about like you as an AWPer, like obviously him
Oh,
calling and you AWPing.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, first of all, like Bubble, obviously, not only my opinion, but he's definitely the greatest Bulgarian IGL of all time, for sure. And in my opinion, he's probably one of the best in the scene as well. Like not only as a captain or IGL, but as a human being, you know. He's
Hmm.
just, yeah. I
Yeah.
have like pretty much so much respect to him that I cannot even like tell you something, you know.
Hmm. It's great that you get that vibe of just how great of an in-game leader he is, because you've only played together for what, 4 months, 5 months? It hasn't really been a massive amount of time, and obviously a teammate that he brought along too was Dreamer. Now we saw that last year he really got back into his stride. He started really performing well. So tell me about his addition coming into the team, because it has felt as if the last 12 months or so he's had a massive sort of get back up to the higher level again.
Yeah, I mean we all know Dreamer like from IFRAC and Gplay before. He's always been so talented that I don't think everyone. I mean, I don't know why everyone is like so surprised about that. He brings so much firepower to the team that, of course, he's helping us a lot with that. He's playing new role, which is kind of strange to him because he's played like a lurk his whole life, but now he's maybe switching up a bit. So it's also hard for him, but he's performing so well that you cannot even see it.
Hmm. Okay. Well, that's probably getting at least a touch in and a gauge of some of the newer guys. If we take it back a little bit and talk about SHiPZ, obviously you've played with him for about a year now. What's it been like with him transitioning from moving away to maybe a main IGL, probably still helping out here or there? Because he does some double AWPing, doesn't he? He kind of helps out with the second rifle when the big grain comes in.
I mean, it was not that hard for him to switch it up because it's not that much of a period, in my opinion.
Hmm.
He's never been that like IGL his whole life that is gonna be that hard for him. But and also he's played with Bubble before in Vindigo, you know. So it was kind of easy. I don't think there was a lot of pressure about that.
Hmm. Okay. And probably the last player, at least in the starting five, that we haven't really spoken about is Rainwaker. Now, I've remembered that you guys have been going for years. It's coming up to about 3 years now playing together. It's something like over 1,000 maps on HLTV. Everyone knows him as just being the clutch god. Anytime he's in a 1vx, gets the job done. Tell me about Rainwaker, because you've played with him for so long.
Rainwaker, I mean, what can I say about him? Like, this is just pure talent, you know. Just raw skill. Always has this thing in his mind. He's thinking so fast sometimes that you cannot even see a guy on his screen, but he knows like a little bit more. I mean, he's just so talented. I cannot say that much about him.
Hmm. Okay, and I guess another coach as such that would really help out is pNshr, and you sort of reflected on Windigo when it's the guys like Bubble and the guys that SHiPZ played over there. We know that pNshr used to be an ex-pro. He used to play on that lineup as well. He's now moved into a coaching role, and he's been a part of Skade for probably a couple of years now. So under his coaching, what's that been like?
I mean, he's helping Bubble with analyzing the enemies, also scheduling, being a manager and a coach at the same time. So it's
Okay.
not that easy. So yeah, I can give that to him.
All right. Now, one thing that you spoke about, Denny, was some of the role clashes. Now, when I look at the team, and when probably a lot of people look at this team on paper, there's a lot of lurky kind of players, and there's not really a set entry. So has this been something difficult that over the last couple of months of bringing Bubble and Dreamer in, is when you don't have a dedicated entry, it kind of moves around the pack, or what's your view been on that?
Obviously, it's hard. Of course, there is 3 people that have the same role, and also Bubble also changed a bit of his role. He opens up space right now, like being an entry fragger with ships. I don't think that it was that hard for ships. He said that he wanted to do it. He made that sacrifice, like giving his role to somebody else, and he's doing pretty well. I mean, we all can see that.
Hmm. Okay, and I guess, having a look at success, we obviously saw what you're able to do in that Pinnacle event very recently, coming first place there, beating some really good teams. So I want to ask, what's the main goal this year for Skade? Is it to maybe break in even higher on the rankings? Is it to win more events online? Is it to win an event on land? What is the main goal?
We always wanted to break into top 15, but that comes with qualifying for big events, and not only just playing online cups, of course. We have that we want to play online. Like we just want to qualify for every event we can,
Hmm.
like from the big events, of course. And we want to attend as many tournaments as possible, but not that many that could affect our preparation, of course. Because you know that when you play, and you don't have time to practice, to add new stuff, and the kind of the enemy just know what to expect every time, and it kind of gets
Hmm. Yeah.
easier for them, yeah.
Okay. Well, it definitely feels as if the vision is there of what wants to be achieved, and I'm sure a lot of fans, right, are trying to back you and give yourself some confidence. So any message to the fans out there supporting you guys right now?
I mean, we always appreciate the support everyone is giving, and not only the fans, but the organization behind us. Like, they're awesome to us.
Hey,
So yeah, just big thank you to everybody.
great. All right. Well, thank you very much, Denny, and best of luck.
Yeah, thank you. Goodbye.